Salutations, good to be back on the air, and as I mentioned briefly in my 2025 vlog that you should definitely go and see, I mean right now, yes, I decided to give Innistrad Remastered its own video. Since many new players are joining the cEDH ranks, and thus I like to welcome you to the fold, and even if cEDH is the most proxy friendly place, most of the time, nothing beats that smell of freshly printed cardboard. And whether you are drafting the set, playing a special pre-release in select stores, or just cracking packs, or trading with friends, I wanted to give you a small push to which cards to look out for to add to your cEDH collection. And also, not everyone always keeps up with spoilers, especially with so many sets coming out. I mean, not everyone is hooked for spoiler season like me, and this set had a weird spoiler season since this first day. Tada, here it is. So maybe you missed it even, and thus here I am for you, and this video is kinda split into two parts. The maybe section coming up and the yeah baby yeah section, so sit back and relax. For the maybe part of this video I wanted to mention a special reprint of an old border Snapcaster Mage, you retro freaks. Let's read what it is. So for 1 in the blue it's a 2/2 human wizard with Flash. When Snapcaster Mage enters, target instant or sorcery card in your graveyard gains flashback until end of turn. The flashback cost is equal to its mana cost. For flashback, that means you may cast that card from your graveyard for its flashback cost, then exile it. Now, before I get burned at the stake in the comments, I know Snappy here does not see much play in cEDH because you know flashback and free spells that cEDH is known for do not go well together. You can't cast this and target Force of Will and cast it by paying 1 life since you can't use 2 separate alternate costs. But cEDH is filled with cheap spells, rituals and tutors that maybe you want to rebuy, so who knows, maybe 2025 is the year that Snappy finally returns. On the other hand, I did not even know this card existed since I only knew the green version, and that is Mass Hysteria, an enchantment for red mana with all creatures have haste. But yes, I know the Crossroads, and that does not see much play outside of mono green, I believe, if at all. But in red I was first thinking either aggro decks or maybe goblin decks, but those use other goblins to get haste, and then it hit me. Maybe 2025 is the resurgence of green-red werewolves? I remember that over, 3 years ago? Wow, now I feel old since Midnight Hound came out and introduced us to this. Wow, I will be right back. What the fuck? Okay, I'm back, and now we can start the yeah baby yeah section. And I will start with a pet card of mine that I try to stick in almost any place I can find, including places where it does not belong. And that is Hermit Druid. What a great reprint. So Hermit here is a 1/1 human druid for 1 in a green with green and tap it. Reveal cards from the top of your library until you reveal a basic land card. Put the card into your hand and all other cards revealed this way into your graveyard. If you do not know, if you play no basic lands, well, you throw your entire library into the graveyard. And bonus fact, Gatherer has the only bonus line of rulings for this card that says you can put the cards from your library into your graveyard in any order. Also, look at this amazing poster art. This is on my hot want list to replace my Judge promo foil. Now, why getting rid of your deck is the fun part? Well, many reasons. Fuel your Underworld Breach, your special land, the reanimation of Oracle or Laboratory Maniac that is also in the set and drawing a card to win. The possibilities are there. And my favorite is a 2-card 6 mana combo of Hermit Druid and Jubilant Brawler, since thanks to Tyvar you can activate Hermit Druid immediately and use Tyvar to get your Oracle back without even targeting it. Now I know the more popular line is after the Hermit is activated, you get an Archamoeba back in play and use Dread Return, flashback cost of sacking the Amoeba, the Hermit and another creature that you already had to bring back the aforementioned Oracle. And one of the popular decks that does it is the Banana Lord himself, Tasigur, since you can cast him for like 1 black mana basically, and it is a free color commander thanks to the mana symbols in the text box. Now, personally, I do not run Dread Return and Archamoeba line since it feels bad when you draw them, since you just need to have them in the library, but hey, who am I to judge? I'm not everyone. But I do have another green reprint here for you, and that is a very busted card. Eldritch Evolution, for 1 and 2 green is a sorcery with, as an additional cost to cast a spell, sacrifice a creature. Search your library for a creature card with mana value X or less, where X is 2 plus the sacrificed creature's mana value. Put the card onto the battlefield, then shuffle. Exile Eldritch Evolution. Now, the uses for this card are many, and you can actually thank Commander Versus for reminding me of some of its uses, since I just get Torkoal with it by sacking 1 mana dork. But remember, the X can be less than that creature. You can even sack 1 mana elf to get a Glinthorn, for example, in Malcolm Tana basically, and win, which what that X wants to do. But you can also sack something bigger and still get something small. And that is the point, because of that X or less clause, which is so flexible. And even 5-color decks use this to try to win with a combo piece. And remember that Tasigur I mentioned earlier? Even that deck can use this as an alternative, because you can cast Tasigur for cheap, but its mana value is still 6, so you can use Eldritch Evolution to sacrifice the Lord of Bananas and get the final reprint I'm going to talk about. That is Hullbreaker Horror. And it comes with new great art. So what is Hullbreaker Horror? It's a 7-drop for 5 and blue. It's a Kraken Horror 7/8 and has Flash. This spell can't be countered. And whenever you cast a spell, choose up to 1. Either return target spell you don't control to its owner's hand, or return target non-land permanent to its owner's hand. Now, why would you want this? Well, if you have, let's say, a Mana Vault and another rock, or something that costs no mana, or can produce more mana than it costs, like Soul Ring, well, you can make infinite mana by bouncing them among one another, and there are plenty of decks that can abuse this. If you can make color mana, it's even better, for decks like Kinnan, for example. And if you only can use colorless, no worries, you got Thrasius to draw your entire deck, and yeah, the options are there, and plenty. And see how I took the last 3 reprints and basically showed you a few deck options you can make out of these cards? Yeah, these are some nice reprints. Not too many, but it's nice to have these cards in circulation again. Yeah, there are some, commons and uncommons also that see play and are reprinted in this special master set, but I wanted to highlight these 5 altogether. And with this, I want to thank you for sticking around with me and hope you enjoyed this snappy look at my top Innistrad Remastered cEDH reprints. And I will see you all behind the veil.